Here is your second installment of Teresa's Writer's World. When I first started self-publishing, I was actually doing a yearbook for my daughter's kindergarten class, and I wanted to test out different publishers. Looked into some of the printers in the area. I looked online for publishers for the yearbook, and I found one that I felt was pretty well priced and good. And I tested it out with Grandpa's Chair actually, and I put Grandpa's Chair through it first and printed it out, and the quality was fine for a yearbook for a kindergarten class. So I got the yearbook, and I also got Grandpa's Chair around the same time. Like I said, the artwork is like basically photos photoshopped for the book. It was for the words that I'd already created. I'd already created a binder with all the Hallie stories, but this was the first one that I printed. And it was like the yearbooks I did a few yearbooks for her school. I started this out probably 16 years ago. I printed this one out around the same time I printed out the first yearbook when my daughter was in kindergarten. The process has changed with this self-publishers over the years. There's been more self-publishers that have come out. But the one that I'm using at this point in time, as you can see, if you can see it, it's lulu.com. So lulu.com is the self-publishing that I use. The most recent changes that they made have made it a little bit more difficult to publish, a little bit more expensive. I've done a few things recently to try to diminish the costs. And one of the things that I did was re-edit a lot of the books. So I'm re-editing books and trying to make them smaller because print books cost more the more pages you have. And I've re-edited these books many times. Children of Light and Children of Water started out a little bit more blue words, some violent, well, there's violence and sex in them, but they started out a little bit even raunchier in the beginning. Somebody said it reminded them of Anise Nin or something like that, one of those writers. But I edited it out because some of the kids in the school were like, "Oh, Trees, you wrote these children's." I'm like, "No, the children's books are not children's books." But some of my daughter's friends were like, "Oh, we're gonna buy them and read them," and I'm like, "Oh." So I kind of edited them so the language was a little bit better. And then I tried to put it back. Then I've tried a lot of things, but this is the last editing right here, and you can see that it's smaller. And this was the last one that I edited because I was trying to get less pages and just clean it up a bit more. So after 15 years or so, or 14 years, I did this edit, and this is the last one. But as you can see, the binding, they changed how the covers work, so I had to do something different with the binding, and it's a little bit off. So, but it's good. And they did raise their prices. So you can see Children of Water, kind of the same thing, where the book is smaller. So that's, and the how the binding has kind of the back of the binding on it there. This one doesn't, this one does, but they're smaller, so they're less expensive. Another option is all of the books on Lulu. You can have an electronic book that's downloadable. They usually send them to Amazon and iBooks and a lot of different places, so they can be published that way as well, and bought that way. And it's a lot less expensive for people to buy them, and you can still make the same amount of profit on them. If they buy an ebook, it might be $1.99, 99 cents, $2.99 to download the book, and you can get the same profit you get on a print book if you keep your prices low. So this was the first, and I Made some mistakes, obviously, because I didn't pick the right size, as you can see. And I used a matting format instead of a matte a matte cover instead of a glossy cover, and I like the glossy better. And this one was the wrong size. I wanted all the books to be, as you can see, the same size, which is a quality paperback. You can print many different sizes and everything, but once again, this book is too small to have anything on the cover. There are different sizes, like different sized books for different types of covers. So, and there's different products too, like you can do calendars and photo books and stuff like that. But this is, I do lulu.com. I was doing global distribution, and I just found out recently that the global distribution raises the price of the book really a lot. Because if you want to make 50 cents off of each book, to get that 50 cents off of each book in global distribution, the 50 cents because of the global distribution, it doubles the cost of the book. So your book costs, instead of, I think like maybe one of these is like $10. Let's say this one's $10 if you have a printed copy. The global distribution one made this 20, and that's just on the Lulu platform. So I decided to take off the global distribution because it was doubling the cost of the book. And nobody's going to buy a book like that for $20, especially for an unknown author, basically. So I'm trying to work out some of those kinks too. So I'm going to show you some other things in the next installment. Sorry this one was so long. Hope you're having a great day. Ciao.